I suppose another question I'd like to ask is, one of the things we had in the heading, I suppose, is sort of incentivising people and engaging. Well, incentivising is a means of engagement, I suppose. And I've seen lots of stuff in the press about companies like Richer Sounds or AO actually saying we're going to offer you significant amounts of money if the business as a whole grows. I suppose either A, from your own business's experience, and I appreciate you may not want to answer that totally, but I suppose also from your experience and sort of market commentators, do you think sort of non-cash incentivization is going to increase?
I'll answer that question first because it's quite timely from our perspective at the moment. So we
haven't actually, just for the audience, we haven't actually rehearsed this, so this is remarkable. So.
Yeah, literally, I signed off the facts file yesterday for our operations colleagues. So what we agreed was right at the very beginning of the pandemic. To Steve's point earlier, we completely recognise that 2/3 of our employees have no choice but to attend work. We can't, unfortunately, pick up a production line and put it in someone's garden sheds. We can't give people a bunch of noodles to pack in the living room. You just can't do that as much as we maybe would have wanted to in those frightening sort of early weeks. So we appreciated that there were some individuals who had no choice. They didn't have the luxury of being able to stay at home in the little bubble. So we put in a financial incentive in place for individuals, but it was built around people doing the right thing. So if someone needed to self-isolate, for example, they wouldn't be penalised from a bonus perspective. But if individuals worked extra overtime, for example, over a weekend where we needed to run lines 24/7 across some parts of the last few months, we'd give them extra incentive to be able to do that. So so our operational teams across all of our sites will be receiving a bonus on Friday as part of our thank you, to say thank you for everything that you've done. And our operational sites have sort of taken the hashtag of Feed the Nation. So we're feeding the nation. And so we to one of Catherine's points earlier, we've changed the way that we communicate. We've changed the language that we use to communicate. In the whole, we see you, we hear you, we feel everything that you're feeling. We completely understand this is a difficult testing time for everyone, sort of varying degrees. So the comms that we've sent out this week to say, here you go, here's the bonus that we talked to you about. It's all centred around thank you for everything that you've done, because without you doing everything that you have done and coming to our operations sites every day, we wouldn't have been in the position that we have been to have taken the extra level of sales that we have. So we've definitely shared the benefits that we've managed to secure, but we're also very mindful that I'm not sure we're officially in a recession as yet, are we? But it's inevitable we will be in a recession. So we're also taking steps as a responsible employer when we look at our priorities this next few months to make sure that we are in the very best shape to be able to deal with that recession. So making sure that we make the responsible decisions around the extra revenue that we've generated this year to future-proof ourselves as we get into, our financial year ends in 4 weeks' time. So as we get into our new financial year, we know that's going to be really difficult. We know that buyers' trends are going to be changing even more than what they currently have. We know that retailer demands are going to be significant. And who knows what will happen as we get into the winter with the predicted second wave. So we're doing everything that we can whilst thanking everyone and rewarding people in that way. We're also being responsible in protecting ourselves as we do go into a difficult time. So the sort of non-monetary incentives that we're offering to people. So I've got a brilliant lady in my team at the moment that's working through a flexible working policy, which enables everyone to request flexible working. So whether you're office based or whether you're based in our factories, we're reminding people that you have the opportunity to work flexibly if you choose to do so. So we're looking at how we launch our values and incentivising people to bring those values to life through their behaviours. So it's definitely one of our key priorities that we're implementing at the moment.
And are you? Here's a dreadful question, but are you doing it because you feel it's the right thing to do, or because you, as a business, feel that actually it will benefit the business, or I suppose it could be both?
No, absolutely. It's down to what is the right thing to do.
Okay.
So one of my key values is I've always been very values based in terms of how I lead and how I sort of implement my role. So if it's the right thing to do, then we endeavour to do the right thing. And where we've made the decision to financially reward our operational colleagues, that's because we all recognise that it's very easy to say when you're sat in your nice garden and your nice house, that this has been a real difficult thing for me, having to move and sort of sit in my garden working from home, whereas our operational colleagues have had no choice but to attend our operational sites every day. So it's about saying thank you to them, and it's the right thing to do to acknowledge the steps and the commitment they've shown to their roles.
Interesting. Thank you for that.